Yeah, hi children. Good evening once again. Let's continue. So here find the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17. So I want somebody to tell me the sum. Oh, yeah. Okay, so tell me you would have generated two arithmetic progressions. Tell me the two progressions you have generated. You would have generated two arithmetic progressions to answer this question. Tell me the two.
1, 2, 3, 4 till 999 and 17, 34, 51 till 986.
1 minute. Find the sum of all 3-digit. You said 1, 2. Did you say, Swati, 1, 2, 3, 4 till 999?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's okay, but you can just rethink and tell me. Find the sum of, see, maybe you're right. Find the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 70. So you should, the AP does not hold good here. Not this one. Yes. What's the other AP? I think Swati, you said something.
And that one too I worked on. I started from 17.
Okay, so find the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17. So you need to generate the AP of all 3-digit numbers, all 3-digit numbers, all 3-digit numbers. So this is the AP of all 3-digit numbers. Next, you need to generate the AP of all 3-digit multiples of 17. So 3-digit multiples of 17. 17 into 7 is 119. 17 into 6, 102. So 17 6 are 102. So 102 is the first 3-digit multiple of 17. So it goes on till so 999 divided by 17. 986. 986. So the first one is the AP of all 3-digit numbers. The second one is the AP of all 3-digit multiples of 17. 102 plus 17, 119 plus 17 and so on till 986. This is the AP of all 3-digit multiples of 17. This is the AP of all 3-digit numbers. Find the sum of the first AP, the sum of the second AP. The difference will be the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17. So please see the answer. The AP of all 3-digit natural numbers is 3-digit numbers is 100, 101, 102, so on till 999. You need to find the sum of all these numbers. So for that, you need to find n. To find the sum, first you need to find n. So an is 999. Find the value of n. N is 900. N is 900. Now find S 900. 900 by 2 of the first term plus the last term. So first term is 100, last term is 999. So the sum of all these numbers, is 4,94,550. 4,94,550 is the sum of all 3-digit natural numbers, which means starting from 100 to 919. Next, we need to generate the arithmetic progression of all 3-digit multiples of 17. So for that, you need to perform the division. So you can see here, I perform the division with 100 divided by 17. 102 is the first number. And then again divide 999 by 17. 999 minus 13, the remainder 13, 986 is the last number. That is the last or the greatest 3-digit multiple of 17. See, I'm not talking much about the division because you already know it. We've already discussed them. So we've generated the AP here. Now find the sum. So find N using AN equal to 986. N is 53. Now find S 53. 28,832. So the sum of all 3-digit multiples of 17 is this one. I've called it 2. See, I've called this one 1. I've called the first sum 1. See this one 1. I've called the sum 2. So the sum of all 3-digit non-multiples of 17 is equal to 1 minus 2. So it's 4,65,780. Okay. So what's the common difference of this AP? What is the common difference of this arithmetic progression?
Ma'am, root 7.
Root 7. Correct. Root 7. So square root of 28. Square root of 28 can be written as square root of 4 into 7. So as a mixed result, it is 2 root 7. And root 63 is 9 sevens. Root of 9 into 7. So 9 comes out of the square root is 3. 3 root 7. So the AP is root 7, 2 root 7, 3 root 7. Goes on like this. So the common difference is the first term, root 7. And the common difference is 2 root 7 minus root 7, which is root 7. So an minus 1 is equal to a plus whatever term you have here, minus 1 into d. That's the formula. See, if you want to find a8, it is a plus 8 minus 1 into d. If you want to find a50, it is a plus 50 minus 1 into d. So an minus 1 is equal to a plus n minus 1 minus 1 into d. So a is root 7 plus n minus 2 into d. D is also root 7. So this is root 7 plus root 7n minus 2 root 7. So minus 2 root 7 and root 7 is minus root 7. So it is root 7n minus root 7. Next, we have to find S10. So 10 by 2 of S10 is equal to n by 2. So 10 by 2 of 2a, 2 into root 7, plus n minus 1, 10 minus 1 into d. D is root 7. Yeah. Can anyone tell me the answer for S10? S10 is equal to S10 is equal to
45 root 7.
45 root 7. Maybe some addition, some calculation mistake.
55 root 7.
Yeah, 55 root 7. Very good. 55 root 7. Okay. So here, see, maybe you were not able to explain the double answer because I think, yeah, I haven't explained a question similar to this. Yeah. So maybe you were not able to explain the double answer, but you should have been able to find the values for n. The values
You
for
have
n.
explained a similar sum like this.
No, I really okay. Okay, in that case, good. I explained it somewhere. One term will be 0. I don't think I did this. Okay, anyways, fine. When you're saying I have done it, then maybe I've done it. All right. Now the two values for n children for this question. What are the two values for n?
5 and 12, ma'am.
5 and 12. Who's that? 5, 12?
Ritza, ma'am.
Ritza. Okay, Ritza, 5 and 12. Yeah, perfect. 5, 12. So how many terms of the AP must be taken to get sum 90? So as always, we start by writing out the first term. A is equal to 24. The common difference, 21 minus 24, which is minus 3. Now, the required sum is 90. So which means Sn is equal to 90. The required sum is 90, which means Sn is 90. So now work on this. What is Sn? N by 2. N we don't know because Sn no, so N we don't know. N by 2. Of 2a, 2 into 24, plus n minus 1, n is n, minus 1 into d, d is minus 3, is equal to 90. Now here, n into minus 3 is minus 3n, minus 1 into minus 3 is plus 3. So n by 2 into 48 minus 3n plus 3 is equal to 90. 48 plus 3 is 51. Minus 3n is equal to 90. So I cross multiply. N into 51 is 51n. N into 51 is 51n. N into minus 3n is minus 3n square. And 90 into 2, 180. So like this, you get a quadratic equation and split the middle term. And these are the two values for n. And both are acceptable. You cannot reject any of it. N is equal to 5. Okay, that means the sum of the first 5 terms is 90. N is equal to 12. That means the sum of the first 12 terms is 90. N can be any natural number. So N is 5 or N is 12. You cannot reject any of the values. Both are acceptable. So when N is 5, it means the sum of the first 5 terms is 90. You need to add the first 5 terms to get the sum as 90. N is 12, meaning you will have to add the first 12 terms to get sum 90. How is it possible? For one AP, you add the first 5 terms, the sum is 90. You add the first 12 terms, then also the sum is 90. How is it possible? When you add more numbers, depending on whether they are positive or negative, it should increase or decrease the value, right? How is it the same 90? That is because, so you can see here, N is equal to 5. N is equal to 5 means S5 is 90, which means A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 is 90. N is 12 means S12 is 90. The sum of the first 12 terms is 90, which means A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus A5 plus A6 plus A1, A7, so on till A12 is 90. Now, A1 to A5, the sum is 90. A1 to A5, the sum is 90. But still the total is 90. That means meaning the sum from here to here, the sum from the 6th term to the 12th term is 0. The terms are not 0. A6 is 0, A7 0, A8 0. No. They have some non-zero values, the terms, but they are a collection of some positive and negative terms. They are a collection of some positive and negative terms whose sum is 0. The sum of all this is 90. A1 to A5, the sum is 90. Then A6 to A12, the sum should be 0. Only then 90 plus 0 is 90. So the sum of all these terms is 0. How and why? Because A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, A11, A12, these 7 numbers are not all negative or all positive. If they're all positive, you will not get their sum as 0. If they're all negative, you will not get sum 0. When will you get sum 0? When you have some negative and positive values. You don't have to have equal numbers. You have some positive values, some negative values. So you get the negative sum says minus 45. The positive sum is plus 45. So in total, the sum is 0. So that's the explanation for the double answer. The double answer is because the sum from the 6th term to the 12th term is 0. If you want to write it in words, it's that the double answer is because the sum of all the terms, from the 6th to the 12th is 0. The double answer is because the sum of all the terms from the 6th to the 12th is 0. Any questions, children? Any doubts, please ask me. Okay. Silence is taken as no doubts. All right. And I had shared a set of 10 questions, right? Have you all completed that assignment? I shared that with the answers. It was question number 4 with 10 subdivisions. Yeah. How many of you have completed that assignment? Raise your hand. From the same chapter, Arithmetic Progressions. I think the first or the second class. I gave you a set of 10 questions. Question number 4, 10 sub-questions as homework. But I shared it along with the answers. How many of you have completed them? Leslie, Akshada, Bhavishya, Ritsa, Prenu, Pratish, Aragamai. So others, few others are like, which assignment? Few of them know, but have not completed. Okay. Srivatsan, okay, you've completed. All right. Okay, so these 10 questions, the answers to these 10 questions. Any doubts, children? I'm asking you again.
No, ma'am.
Okay. I've shared all these answers on WhatsApp. Yeah. Those who have not completed the assignment, will you finish it tomorrow? Shall we discuss the answers tomorrow? Okay, no, 1 minute. How many of you say we'll see the answers today? We'll discuss the answers today. Raise your hand. I'll go with the majority. There are 16 of you. If you want me to discuss the answers to the assignment questions, raise your hand. If I get more than 8, I'm going to go ahead. 7. I want 2 more. Majority wins. 16. 8 is 50-50. So I want 9. So Akshada, Aragamai, Anirudhan, Anugraha, Jayavarshini, Keshav is on hold for a long time. Pratish, Sabarna, Sadhana, and Srivatsan, since you have not completed, will you all finish it tomorrow? Those who have not finished? So tomorrow, maybe the second half, we'll discuss the answers. Because I don't have a majority today. Please, 7, if you have raised your hand. Now it's a tie. 1 more and I'll do it now. There, Pratish. Okay. Okay, fine. See, in a fraction of few seconds, things have changed. All right, we'll see the answers soon. Just open that presentation. Okay. So in an arithmetic progression, A is 5, D is 3, and AN is 50. Find N and SN. So AN is given, right? In AN, see always in the formula, what are the unknowns? A, N, and D. You know the values of A and D. So easy to find N. So use this equation. AN is equal to 50. Use this one. AN is equal to 50. So what is AN? A plus N minus 1 into D is 50. Substitute the values of A and D and solve and find the value of N. That's how you find N. Then you'll have to find Sn. Sn means N is N only. You'll have to substitute for the other variables. So if you use this formula, Sn is equal to N by 2 of A1 plus An. First term plus the last term. Sorry, here I've worked for S16. Okay. I'm sorry. The question is to find N and Sn, but I have worked for S16. Okay. Okay, I'll just show you the answer for Sn now. So S16, you know. Okay. So since we found the value of N, you know, since we have found the value of N, Sn, I've just used the value of N there, S16. To be safe, you'll have to give both the answers actually. Sn, we'll find Sn and also S16. So Sn, because we found N, right? N is 16. N is 16. So I've worked S16 here. So S16, you know, 16 by 2 of the first term plus the last term. So first term is A1 plus the last term, because here AN is 50, right? It's a particular term. And what's the value of N? N is 16. That means A16 is 50. See here. We didn't know the value of N earlier. Now that we found the value of N is 16, N is 16. So Sn means S16. AN means A16. Wherever there is N, read that as 16 now. Because we found the value of N, 16. So A16 is 50. And find Sn means S16. But you also work Sn, not worked it here. Okay, so I'll come again. An is equal to 50. A plus N minus 1 into D is 50. So in this, substitute the values for A and D. Solve and find the value of N. Okay, so that's about finding N. Then about Sn. Now that we found N is 16. Sn means S16. And An means A16. So here I worked S16. S16. 16 by 2 of the first term plus the last term. Last term is A16. So 16 by 2 is 8. 8 into first term 5 plus A16, which is 50. So the answer is 440. Sn will be, Sn is equal to N by 2 of the first term 5 plus the last term An. An, which you have to find. So what is An? Or you can use this formula N by 2 of 2A plus N minus 1 into D. N by 2 of 2A, 2 into 5, 10, plus N minus 1 into D, 3. So N by 2 into 10 plus 3N minus 3. N by 2 into 3N plus 7. So it is 3N squared by 2 plus 7N by 2. Yeah. 3N squared by 2 plus 7N by 2. All right, next one. Yeah. So A12 is given 37. Work that and you can find some information. A12 is 37. A12 means A plus 11D. A12 means A plus 11D or A plus 12 minus 1 into D. Because AN is what? AN is A plus N minus 1 into D. So A12 will be A plus 12 minus 1 into D or A plus 11D is 37. You know the value of D, 3. So you can find the value of A. So we found A. Next we have to find S12. S12. So since you know A12, I've used this formula. We have to find S12. We know A12 is given to us in the question. So I have used this formula, n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. So 12 by 2 of the first term. First term is 4 plus the last term, A12. Because for S12, the last term is A12, 37. So that is 246. See here. So in this expression for A13, what is A13? A plus 12D. A13 is A plus 12D. A plus 12D is equal to 35. So if you know A, if you know the value of A, you can substitute and find the value of D. Here we were given the value of D. A12 is 37. A plus 11D is 37. So here we are given the value of D. So we substitute the value of D and we find the value of A. Here it's the reverse. It's a reverse. We are given the value of A. So A is 7. 7 plus 12D is equal to 35. So you can find the value of D. So we found D. Now find S13. S13. Since we know A13, I've used this formula to find S13. What? N by 2 of the first term plus the last term. 13 by 2 of the first term plus the last term, that is A13. For S13, A13 is the last term. You can also use the other formula, N by 2 of 2A plus N minus 1 into the D. You should get the same answer. So what you should have understood is when you have conditions like this, A13 or some information like this, this is A plus 12D. So there are only two unknowns, A and D. If you know A, you can find D. If you know D, you can find A. A3 and S10 is given. A3 and S10 is given. So what is A3? A plus 2D. A3 is A plus 2D because A3 means A plus 3 minus 1 into D. That is A plus 2D. A plus 2D is 15. Now you will not know that you have to write this. So don't write. See, how will you know? We normally stop at this, right? A plus 2D is equal to 15. We normally call this equation 1 and we stop there. So we don't know that we have to write this. So don't write. Don't write this. Now the next thing is S10 is equal to 125. So S10 is 125, meaning this is the formula, SN formula. You don't have to write this. You can directly. Okay, S10 is 125. So 10 by 2. You don't have to write this step. So 10 by 2 of 2A plus 10 minus 1 into D is equal to 125. SN formula. S10 is equal to 125. 10 by 2 of 2A plus 10 minus 1 into D is equal to 125. So when you work this, you get an equation 2A plus 9D is equal to 25. So here I've done it. I wanted to do it. I have worked it using the substitution method just to, like tell you that you can also work it like this. You can write the equations one below the other and solve it like this. So we have A plus 2D is equal to 15 and 2A plus 9D is equal to 25. These are the two equations we have. Okay, so multiply the first equation with 2. 2A, 4D and 30. Now change the signs throughout. Change the signs throughout. So 2A minus 2A gets cancelled. We have minus 5D is equal to 5. So D is equal to minus 1. D is equal to minus 1. You can also write the two equations, one below the other. To make the coefficients equal, you should multiply the first equation by 2. So you'll get 2a plus 2 into 2, 4d plus 15 into 2, 30 is equal to 30. Then change the signs, 2a and minus 2a gets cancelled. So on working this, you get d is minus 1. And when you substitute in one of the equations, you'll get the value of a, 17. So we found d. Now we'll have to find S13. Formula, 13 by 2, 2a plus 13 minus 1 into d. You know the values of a and d, substitute and calculate. Okay, so here I've written this one because I have worked using the substitution method. You can work using any method. You can, as I told you, write the equations one below the other and solve it using the elimination method. So how does the substitution method work? So I've written a is equal to 15 minus 2d. A is equal to 15 minus 2d. So here in the second equation, what we do, in place of a, we use 15 minus 2d. In place of a, use 15 minus 2d. We are just using the substitution method to solve and find the values of a and d. So a is equal to 15 minus 2d. So in place of a, we're using 15 minus 2d. So work this and find the value of d. And substitute d in any one of the equations and find the value of a. And then find S13. As I said, you can also write the equations like this. A plus 2d is equal to 15. 2a plus 9d is equal to 25. Multiply the first equation by 2. Change the signs. Eliminate. 3 is equal to minus 1. You can also do it like this. So from this, you get a linear equation in A and D. From this one also, you get a linear equation in A and D. So we solve and find the values of A and D. To solve, you can use the elimination method or the substitution method. See, I repeat, from this information, A3 is equal to 15. You get a linear equation in A and D. A plus 2D is equal to 15. From this information, S10 is equal to 125. You get this linear equation in A and D. S10 is equal to 125. When you work that, you get another linear equation in A and D. So we have two linear equations in A and D, and we solve them to find the values of A and D. Am I clear, children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So here we are given D, S9. We'll have to find A and A9. Okay. So now you know with S9, you can get a linear equation in A and D. See here, children, A, N, and D are the, you can actually visualize it before you work. In S9, in Sn formula, you have A, N, and D, all right? But you know N is 9 because S9, no. S9, that means N is 9. So we know N. And then D is given to us in the question. D is 5. So that means you can use this information and find the value of A. And find the value of A. I'll repeat. S9 is equal to 75 is given to you. Now we know in this Sn formula, we have three unknowns, A, N, and D. A is not given. N is 9. because S 9. So N is 9. And D is given 5. So that means when you write the formula for Sn and substitute the values, only A will be the unknown. So you can work that and find the value of A, minus 35 by 3. Then find A9, which is A plus 8D. A9 is A plus 8D. 85 by 3. You know the value of A, you know the value of D, substitute and calculate. Because S9, so N is 9. D is given 5. So when you write the formula and equate it to 75, you can find the value of A. All right, children? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just a second. Yeah. In this question, see the question here. A is given, D is given. So A is given, D is given. Only N we don't know. And we know Sn is 90. So you very well know that in this Sn formula, we have A, N, and D, but you know the value of A, you know the value of D. So you can find N. You can find N. You will not get a quadratic equation or something. You will directly get the value of N. N is equal to something. Let me just substitute and tell you. N by, oh no, you will get a quadratic equation. N by 2 of 2A. What is 2A? 2 into 2, 4 plus N minus 1. Because N into N, yeah. So N minus 1 into D, 8 is equal to 90. So since we know the values of A and D, you will get a quadratic equation and solve and find the values of N. So what will this be? Cross multiply N into 4 plus 8N minus 8 is equal to 90 into 2, 180. So N into 8N minus 4 is equal to 180. So 8N squared minus 4N minus 180 is equal to 0. Divide by 4 throughout. Divide by 4 throughout. So 2N squared minus N minus 45 is equal to 0. So 10 and 9 are the numbers to split the middle term. All right, children. So Sn is equal to 90. Sn is equal to 90. In the formula, we have A, N, and D. But we know the value of A, we know the value of D. So you can easily find the value of N. Of the 3 unknowns, you know 2 of them. So you can find the third one. So on substituting and working, you get a quadratic equation in N. You get a quadratic equation in N. Split the middle term and find the 2 values for N. Okay, I've stopped here 4N squared minus 2N. You can simplify this further, actually. You can divide by 2 throughout and you can simplify this further. This is 2N squared minus N minus 45 is equal to 0. What we got here, 2N squared minus N minus 45 is equal to 0. This equation can be reduced further. 2n square minus n, dividing by 2 throughout. Dividing by 2. 2n square minus n, minus 45 is equal to 0. So I have used the quadratic formula. And these values I told you to split the middle term. Minus 10 and plus 9. To split the middle term, not the values of n. When you split the middle term, the two values are minus 10n and plus 9n. Minus 10n plus 9n is minus n. And when you multiply, you'll get minus 90. 2 into minus 45, minus 90. These are not the values of n. To split the middle term, these are the values. Okay. Fine. Here I've used a quadratic formula. And n is 5 or n is minus 9 by 2. This is not possible. Minus 9 by 2 not possible. So n is 5. So the question is to find n and an. The question is to find n and an. So n is 5. So an. So I found a5 because n value now we have found. You can work both. So here also I should fix that answer. You can work an and a5. You can work an and a5. So n is 5, right? N is 5. So an is a5. So I worked only that here. A5, which is a plus 4d. So a is 2 and d is, what's the value of d? 8. So substitute and find a5. So using this, you can find that because a and d is known, so you can find n. After finding n, we have to find an, but n is 5. So a5 I've worked here, a plus 4d. To be safe, you should also work an. What's an? A plus n minus 1 into d. So a is 2 plus n minus 1 into d. D is 8. Okay. So here we have an, Sn. We have to find n and d. All right. So an is 62. An is 62 meaning a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 62. We're just seeing if we can use this and find any value. Okay. So an is 62 means a plus n minus 1 into d is 62. Now a is 8 plus n minus 1. We don't know n minus. We have to find n. Okay. Into d is equal to 62. So you can see that here you cannot find anything, no, because you cannot find n nor d because only one equation but two unknowns. Okay, we'll just leave that there. Now, what about Sn? What about Sn, children? Sn is equal to n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. So now you don't have to do this in the main work. You can just try it in the rough column and then, or it's okay. You can just do it here and if nothing is happening, you can just score it out and try again. So we have Sn. See, we don't go ahead with this because n, d, both we have to find. We'll have to find n and d. So you cannot, with one equation and two unknowns, you cannot find any of it. So we'll not use this. We'll just try this one. Sn is equal to n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. Sn is given to be 210. So n by 2 of the first term plus the last term is equal to 210. Now n we do not know, by 2 into the first term 8 plus the last term 62 is equal to 210. So in this equation, we have only one unknown, n. So we can work this and find the value of n. When you take Sn is equal to 210 and use this formula, n by 2, the first term plus the last term, you can find the value of n. Once you find the value of n, what's the value of n? N is 6. N is 6. That means n is 62. That means A6 is 62. We found n, no? N is how much? 6. N is 6. Now in the question we have n is 62. That means A6 is 62. So A plus 5D is equal to 62. A is 8 plus 5 into D is equal to 62. So work this and find the value of D. So we work Sn using this formula. We find the value of n. n is 62, but n is 6. So that means A6 is 62. A6 means A plus n minus 1. 6 minus 1 into D is 62. A is 8 plus 5D is equal to 62. Work this and find the value of D. All right, children? Okay. So here an is 4. An is 4 meaning A plus n minus 1 into D is equal to 4. So A we do not know, A plus n minus 1, n also we don't know, into D is 2. We have to find n and A. Okay, A plus n minus 1 into D is 2 is equal to 4. Okay, so you cannot find anything using this, so we'll just stop there. We might come back. See, if needed, we'll come and use. Like in the earlier one, we didn't go ahead with this, but when we worked with, Sn, we were able to find the value of n. So I'm not saying we'll not use this information. This is not looking very useful alone, when taken alone. So we'll just try with Sn. We'll see what happens here. Sn is equal to minus 14. Sn is equal to minus 14. So Sn is n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. First term A plus the last term an is equal to minus 14. See, when to use this formula is like you know an, no? So you can use this formula so that you can use that information. Sn is minus 14. Sn means n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. N by 2 of A1 plus An is equal to minus 14. And we don't know, we still have to find. Into the first term, we don't know. Plus the last term, what's the last term? 4 is equal to minus 14. Okay. So we have what? So that means now what's happening is when we use this information or this information, here, see, that's the difference between these questions. So here, when you used, because the value of A was given, here A is not given, D is given. Here D is given, A is not given. Here A was given. So when you use this information, n by 2 of the first term plus the last term, n we didn't know. First term we know 8. Sorry, last term we know 62. So when we work this, we were able to find the value of n. But here, similar information you can see here, an and Sn given with A. Here, an and Sn are given along with A. Here, an and Sn are given along with D. They're given along with D. Okay. So when we worked an is equal to 4, we have a plus n minus 1 into d is equal to 4. A we do not know, plus n also we do not know, into d, d is 2 is equal to 4. So we stopped this one because we have one equation, two unknowns, nothing we can find. 2n minus 2 is equal to 4. So a plus 2n is equal to, what's this? 6. Now here Sn is equal to the other information. Sn is equal to minus 14. N by 2 first term plus last term is minus 14. We use this formula because we know Sn. Sorry, we know An is given to us. So n by 2 of the first term A don't know, plus An is 4 is equal to minus 14. So n into A plus 4 is equal to cross multiply minus 28. So we have An plus 4n is equal to minus 28. So we have to use a substitution method because if you have both the equations in A and D or A and N, then you can write them one below the other and solve. But you can see here, this is An plus 4n is equal to minus 28. This one is A plus 2n is equal to 6. So you can use a substitution method. What is that substitution method? You can write A is equal to 6 minus 2n. And here, instead of A, you can use 6 minus 2n into n plus 4n is equal to minus 28. So when you work this, you can see one equation, only one unknown n. So you can work it. Either you directly get the value of n or you get a quadratic equation, you split the middle term and find the value of n. So like this, you should, like if you cannot solve the equations writing them one below the other, you should use a substitution method. So a plus 2n is equal to 6 is written as a is equal to 6 minus 2n. And that's used in the second equation. So when you work this, you get 6n minus 2n square plus 4n is equal to minus 28. So it looks like a quadratic equation. Solve and find the values of n. See here, I think I've done it in the same way here. Yeah. Just do it again. So here we are given, I'll just repeat. So here we are given an. As I told you, we are given Sn and An along with D here. But here, Sn and An were given along with A. Okay, so here, since it's given along with A, you know Sn formula is what? N by 2 of the first term plus the last term. So first term is known, last term is known. So N you can find here. We know this, we know this. A1 is 8, An is 62. So you can work this equation and find the value of N. And once you find N, we're talking about the earlier one. Once you find N, it's easy to find D because An is 62. But N is what? 6. So A6 is 62. So A plus 5D is equal to 62. You substitute the value of A and get the value of D. But here it's so different. When An and Sn is given along with D, it's so different. So An is 4. A plus n minus 1 into D is equal to 4. So A plus so you have to stop here because there are two unknowns in one equation. You cannot work and find the value of anything. So we stop there. Now we take the next one. Sn is equal to minus 14. And since we know An, we'll use this formula n by 2. N we don't know. Of the first term, that also we don't know. Plus the last term, An, that is 4, is equal to minus 14. So n into A plus 4 is equal to cross multiply minus 28. So when you open the bracket, you will get an plus 4n plus 28 is equal to 0. So now come back to the first equation, write a as 6 minus 2n. So here instead of a, use 6 minus 2n into n plus 4n plus 28 is equal to 0. So this will give you a quadratic equation in n. Solve and find the two values for n. You get n minus 2 and n minus 2 or n 7. Minus 2 is not possible, so n is 7. Sorry, n is 7. And once you find the value of n, it's easy to find the value of a because n is 4, but n is 7. So that means a7 is 4. N is 7. Okay, n is 7. N is 4 is given, but n is 7, right? So a7 is 4. So a plus 6d is equal to 4. So a plus 6 into 2 is equal to 4. So a is equal to 4 minus 12, which is minus 8. I'll give you some time to go through this answer, children. So remember that when the two equations you have don't align with one another, like if both the equations don't have the same unknowns, they're not linear equations in the same two variables, then you can always use a substitution method. And that's what we've done here. And you will not know that, you have to write this step. Maybe you would have started with a plus 2n is equal to 6. So you don't know that you have to write it like this, right? So you stop here. Then when you work the next one, you get something like this. So you go back to the earlier working, and since you have to proceed using the substitution method, you write a is equal to 6 minus 2. And you substitute this in the next equation. In place of a, you use 6 minus 2. That gives you a quadratic equation n. And solving that, you're able to find the two values for n. Okay. 9th one, right? So here in an arithmetic progression, the last term is 28. Okay. And S is equal to 144. And there are a total of 9 terms. So N is 9. There are a total of 9 terms. In an AP, L is equal to 28, S is equal to 144, and there are a total of 9 terms. So N is 9. So if N is 9, there are a total of 9 terms. That means which is the last term? A9. A9 is 28. The last term is 28. L is 28. How many terms are there? 9 terms. So which is the last term? The 9th term. So A9 is equal to 28. And S is 144 means S9 is equal to 144. It's not given, but if they simply say S, what does it mean? Sum of all the terms. You can't assume it is a sum of the first 2 terms or first 3 terms or 4 terms. We cannot assume that. So when nothing is given, S is equal to 144. So what is that acceptable, assumption you can make? It should be the sum of all the terms. But if I say, no, it is the sum of the first 3 terms, you will not agree. And I will not be able to justify that. Or if I say it's the sum of the first 4 terms, you will not agree. And again, I'll not be able to justify that. But when I say that since it is S144 with no mention of number of terms, we have to take the sum of all the terms. Because you cannot assume it is S2 or S3 or S4 or S5. Totally 9 terms are there. So S means S9 is 144. It's a very sensible assumption. S9 is 144. Write it again. Last term is 28. S is 144. And totally 9 terms. N is 9. N is 9. So that means the last term is the 9th term. So A9 is 28. S is 144. Sum of how many terms? Sum of 9 terms. All the 9 terms is 144. So A9 means what? A plus 8D is equal to 28. And S9 means N by 2. Now here, if you use N by 2 of the first term plus the last term, first term we don't know. First term we don't know. When you don't know what to do, you can write both and go ahead with whichever is convenient. So N by 2 is 9 by 2. It's not difficult to decide which one to go ahead with. You write both, you substitute the values in both the formulae, and then you can decide. You can do that in the rough column also. Now for Sn, you know 2 formulae, right? N by 2 of the first term plus the last term. And you also know N by 2 of 2a plus n minus 1 into t. So which one to go ahead with? You substitute the values in both the formulae. And then we can decide which one is convenient. So we'll do that now. So S9 is n by 2, 9 by 2 of the first term, A, plus the last term. What's the last term? 28. Do you think this is useful? S9 is n by 2, 9 by 2 of the first term. It's not known. First term is not known. Plus the last term, which is the last term, 28. Because it's given. Last term L is 28. Now, when you work this, can you find the value of any unknown? Yes, you can find A. You can find A. Once you find A, substitute the value of A here and find the value of D. Now, the other formulas, n by 2, 9 by 2 of 2A plus n minus 1, 9 minus 1 into D. What's the value of D? No, we don't know. So D is equal to 144. So we have 2a plus 9 minus 1 is 8d is equal to 144 into 9 by 2 will become 2 by 9. So 9 ones are 9 16s are. So 2a plus 8d is equal to 32. When you divide by 2 throughout, you get a plus 4d is equal to 16. So if you use this formula, you're getting a equation in a and b. So you'll have to write it below this and solve the two equations. 4d is equal to 12, d is equal to 3. So in this case, both the ways you're able to do it. So you can do it in any one of the two ways. I'm doing it again for all of you. A9, L is 9 meaning, sorry, totally 9 terms. So L is equal to 28. Last term is 28, meaning A9 is 28. And sum to 9 terms is 144. A9 means A plus 8D is equal to 28. And S9, you can do it in two ways. The two ways are, you can either write 9 by 2 or the first term, we don't know, plus the last term, 28, is equal to 144. You can write it like this. Or you can write n by 2, 9 by 2 of 2a, 2a plus n minus 1, 9 minus 1 into d, we don't know, is equal to 144. You can write it in both the ways. When you do it like this, you are able to find the value of a straight away because there's only one unknown a. So you can work this and find the value of a. When you use this one, you get a linear equation a and d. So you get 2a plus 8d is equal to 144. 9 by 2 becomes 2 by 9. 9 ones are 9 16 times. So you get an equation like 2a plus 8d is equal to 32. And on dividing by 2 throughout, you get a plus 4d is equal to 16. So you'll have to write these two equations one below the other. A plus 8d is 28. A plus 4d is equal to 16. Solve the two equations and find the values of a and d. A itself is enough. You only have to find the value of a. So find the value of a. So here I've used n by 2 first term plus the last term and directly found the value of a. Okay. So here also it's given n is 8 and s is 192. N is 8 means totally 8 terms. So S means S8 is 192. Because N is 8. Number of terms 8. And S means what? Sum to 8 terms is equal to 192. It's a very reasonable assumption. Number of terms is equal to 8. And sum is 192, but it's not given sum to how many terms is 192. But since N is 8, you can always take this S8 is equal to 192. S8 is equal to 192. So S8 means what? N by 2, 8 by 2 of 2a, 2 into 3, 6, plus n minus 1, 8 minus 1 into d we don't know, is equal to 192. So when you work this, you will be able to find the value of d. On solving this, you can find the value of d. n number of terms is equal to 8. So sum to how many terms is 192? Since n is 8, sum to 8 terms is 192. So sum to 8 terms is 8 by 2 of 2a, 2 into 3, 6, plus n minus 1, 8 minus 1 into d, we don't know, is equal to 192. So 2 1s are 2 4s are 6 plus 7d is equal to, this 4 will come for division, 192 by 4. 4 1s are 4, 4s are 16, 3 remains, 4 8s are 32. So 7d is equal to 48 minus 6, 7d is equal to 42, d is equal to 6. So the value of d is equal to 6. I've also used the other formula and explained here. That is S8 is equal to 192. N by 2 of the first term plus the last term is 192. N is 8. 8 by 2 of the first term 3 plus the last term A8 is 192. So when you work this, you get A8. A8 is 45. A8 is 45. So that means A plus 7d is equal to 45. When you use this formula, you are able to substitute for N and A, but not for A8. So you will get the value of A8. When you work this equation, you will be finding the value of A8. Because you know N is 8 and the first term is given in the question 3. So A8 you will be finding. And A8 means A plus 7d, which is 45. Put the value of A that's given in the question, substitute the value of A and find the value of D. All right, children? I've done it using both the formulae. N by 2 2a plus n minus 1 into d, and also n by 2 of the first term plus the last term. Okay. It's time. So, all right, children. So that's it for today's session. Thank you so much. Good night. You may all leave the call.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night, children.